There were actually two boxing films being made in Hollywood at the same time called The Setup. The other one was produced by Stanley Kramer and was based on a short story by Ring Lardner called Champion, the title it was released under after Howard Hughes rushed this film into theaters first, a strategy that ended up backfiring on the RKO boss. Champion and its hot young star, Kirk Douglas, received a big marketing push from United Artists, and the film went on to be a box office hit, while The Setup barely earned back its budget, despite heaps of critical acclaim. The Setup was in the running for the prestigious Palme d'Or at the Cannes Film Festival, where it won awards for its direction and cinematography. It must have rankled Robert Ryan to see Kirk Douglas receive an Oscar nomination for his showy but somewhat less convincing portrayal of the boxer and champion, which coincidentally was directed by Robert Wise's close friend and one-time B-Unit colleague at RKO, Mark Robeson. As for Stoker's fresh-faced opponent in The Setup, Tiger Nelson, although he's billed here and in many of his early films as Hal Fieberling, the actor's name is actually Hal Baylor, and like Robert Ryan, he could actually fight, having compiled an amateur record of 52-5 and a 15-8 ledger as a pro. Baylor would also compile a resume of almost 200 film and TV shows, running into the late 70s. He and Ryan really created something special in their short but epic screen battle. Considering that RKO changed the protagonist of The Setup from black to white to make the film palatable to the broadest audience, it's important to note that there were several noir films that featured strong roles for African Americans. I'm specifically thinking of two John Garfield movies, Body and Soul and The Breaking Point, which feature vivid supporting roles for Canada Lee and Juano Hernandez, respectively. Hernandez is also memorable in the 1949 film version of William Faulkner's Intruder in the Dust, which could be considered a detective story if not a full-fledged noir. Decide for yourself when it comes to Noir Alley later this year. No Way Out, a 1950 film from 20th Century Fox, is a tough take on racism that gave Sidney Poitier his first starring role. James Edwards, who we just saw making his screen debut in this film, would later reappear in the 1955 true crime drama The Phoenix City Story, and as the lone upstanding citizen in Stanley Kubrick's 1956 caper classic, The Killing. And by 1959, Harry Belafonte was not only the star, but the producer of the exceptional heist picture Odds Against Tomorrow, choosing Robert Ryan to co-star and Robert Wise to direct. Next week on Noir Alley, I'll be featuring another film starring an actress like Audrey Totter, who's profiled in my new book, Dark City Dames. Evelyn Keyes and Van Heflin star in The Prowler, which back in 2007 was the first film restored by my Film Noir Foundation. It's one of the most unique and provocative films of the era, so I hope you'll tune in for it. And until then, keep punching.